Introduction to Psychology. I'm Michael Mangan, MFA, PhD. Overview of the course. So this tutorial includes an introduction, a course structure and content, support, how you get it, and completing the Getting Started quiz. So a little bit about me, but first of all, thank you for being here. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have a job. I like what I do. A little bit of background. I've been teaching at UNH in Durham, New Hampshire for going on 13 years. I teach large intro sections of psychology, statistics, and social psychology. I also do a bit of research. About the class, the textbook is Wayne Wheaton Psychology Themes and Variations. Briefer version, this is the 9th edition. That's the most recent edition. For this course, you can get away with an earlier edition. I would say an 8th edition would be fine. If you can find a cheap copy online, that would be great. The only difference, as far as I can tell, is the chapter order. Other differences I'm not aware of. Course structure and content. This is our Blackboard interface, the menu item we're going to go through. The first thing that you're looking at here are the announcements. So I'll be sending quite a few announcements in this course, so make sure you check in with those announcements. You're in the Getting Started folder right now, I assume, so be sure you review the syllabus end to end. Make sure you understand every detail of the course. If you have any questions, be sure to ask me. And then at the end of this tutorial, please complete the Getting Started quiz. This is an ungraded quiz, basically designed to let me know that you understand everything that you need to. Watch the tutorials. This will give you a heads up about how to use various tools in Blackboard, such as the message function to communicate with me. And then when you're done with this tutorial, go into introductions and post an introduction on the discussion board in this section, just basically who you are and why you're taking the course. Just a way to get to know each other. Alright, so let's look in the modules. So when the course actually gets started, you'll be able to see the modules appearing. So the first module is Module 1, and then as the course progresses, according to the course schedule, those subsequent modules will become available. So you'll only see Module 1 until Module 2 becomes available. Then you'll see that. And I structure the course such that it's not a self-paced course. We're going to be moving through the course together, and one of the reasons for that is it's hard to create a sense of a class. Being a class is if everybody's sort of blazing on and doing their own thing. So in online education, it's important to try to create sort of a sense of a learning community, a class. And I've been doing this for a while, and I found that it works best if we kind of move along together. Otherwise, it becomes like herding cats, basically, which is not fun, and it's counterproductive, actually. So let's check out Module 1. So if you go into Module 1, you'll see the overview of the module. I've included chapter PDFs for Chapters 1 and Chapters 2. So if you're having some delay in getting your text for the course, no worries, at least for the first couple of modules, couple of days. I have PDFs of those first 2 chapters available. The Integrity lectures, let's go in here. So for each module, I've included PowerPoint PDFs that pace the video lectures I have. So you can download those PDFs and sort of go along taking notes if you want with the videotape lectures. So you'll watch lectures for each module. And I'll include supplementary websites and so forth that support what we're going to be talking about. So there's going to be 2 of these lectures for each module that you'll need to watch, along with some of the other links that I provide. So back to the main interface. Let's go into assignments for the course. So I've produced tutorials for each of these assignments: the discussion board participation, the critical thinking exercises that you'll do, and the watch and respond papers. So be sure you go into these folders and familiarize yourself with these assignments. Again, read them very, very carefully. Ask me any questions that you have. All right. There's no midterm for this class because it's so short, but there is a final. So on the 17th of January, you're going to complete the final examination. It's going to be an 80-question comprehensive final exam, and it'll be worth 20% of your grade. So once we get there, you'll click on the header here, and that will open the exam. That will get you into the exam, and then you can launch it from within that interface. And it's going to cover everything that we've covered in the course. So it'll be a random selection of items, 80 items that will cover everything. I allow tests to be taken twice. So if something happens, for example, on the first attempt, you run into technical issues, that's no problem. You would just get out of it and then start it again. So I'll set it so that there'll be 2 attempts, and then the score on the second attempt will be the one that counts. It's not the best of 2 or anything like that. It's the score on if you take a second attempt, you don't have to, but if you do, that will be the score that counts. Alright, so back to our interface here. If you have any questions or concerns about the course, just send me a message in message function. There's a number of different ways you can get help for the course with respect to using Blackboard and any technical issues. I suggest you call tech support. There's a bunch of information under student services and help with respect to Blackboard and other resources that you have as an EUNH student. And then your My Grades. As you progress through the course, I'm going to be entering things that count. So you go to My Grades and you can see the various things that you've done and the scores that you've gotten for those. So your final grade is going to be based on a weighted percentage of everything that you've done. So I've included a tutorial on how to compute your final grade just so that you understand what goes into a weighted total percentage. And so I've provided a slide here just so we can look at this really quickly. So in the tutorial I walk you through step 1, step 2, and step 3 of creating that weighted percentage of your that will constitute your final grade. So if you have any questions about what your final grade is based on, I've provided that information here. So I've got a note here, and I'll just read this. Computation of a weighted percentage at any point prior to the end of the course is a bit complicated. Thus, you should take your weighted percentage during the course and use it simply as a temporary gauge of how you're doing at that point, given work completed up to that point, while keeping in mind that it may change quite a bit. So don't get alarmed if you're, a score gets entered and maybe you didn't do so well on the assignment and it really affects your weighted percentage. Don't panic about that, because that weighted percentage will move around quite a bit over the course of the course. All right, so if you have any questions about how your grade is computed, then just please let me know. So Module 1, that is a introduction to the course and a brief history to this fantastic discipline of psychology that has everything to do with being human. So I'm sure that most of you will find something personally relevant, possibly even fascinating in this course. I'm looking forward to teaching it with you. The course opens on the 29th of December at 12:30 a.m. so that Module 1 will be available at that point. So we'll see you in Module 1.